The Tao of Self-Confidence, episode 657. Welcome to the Tao of Self-Confidence, where I share stories of amazing women who have discovered their inner journey to self-confidence. Visit our website at thetaoofselfconfidence.com. Your inner journey to self-confidence awaits. Well, hello friend. Welcome to the Tao of Self-Confidence, where I share stories of amazing women who have discovered their inner journey to self-confidence. I'm your host today, Sheena Yap Chan, and today I have a phenomenal lady on the show today. She is the co-chair for Keynote, which is the world's first nonprofit online women's speakers directory, and I'm really excited to have her on and share her story with us today on self-confidence. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce you to Kaumudi Goda. Kaumudi, how are you today? Maybe you can fill in a little bit more about yourself to the listeners.
Hey Sheena, and hi listeners of Tao Self Confidence. I'm very excited to be on your program. I've been a fan for a long time. I am indeed the co chair for Keynote. It's the world's first non-profit online women's directory, and our mission is to bring more diversity to speaking stages across the world. Our idea is that we need role models of all kinds up on stage to inspire not just us adults, but to inspire and make children feel included as well. So that's our mission. And we do it through three things. We have an online directory where we celebrate women speakers and provide a platform for them so that event organizers anywhere in the world looking for speakers are able to find women speakers of all domains easily. The second thing we do is we frequently provide spotlights for women speakers. We celebrate their successes, share their stories. And the third thing we do is we provide training for the next generation of women speakers so that if someone were feeling not so confident about going up on stage, we provide training for that. And all of this is nonprofit.
Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing that. And I think that's great what you guys are doing. And, especially for women, it's so difficult and challenging sometimes to get our voice out. And I think this platform is really great. So thanks for sharing that. And Kaumudi, what's your cultural background?
I'm born and raised in India. As most Indian kids do, I graduated from college and went off to United States to finish my education there. Got a master's in law and practiced as an attorney in New York for several years. And then I got an MBA and came back to Asia. So I'm rediscovering Asia from an adult's eyes more lately.
Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing that. And what'd be your favorite self-confidence quote?
Well, I have a lot of self-confidence quotes that I'm fond of, as you can imagine, but my current favorite is the one by Michelle Obama in her bestseller or autobiography, Becoming. She says, it's not about being perfect. It's not about where you get yourself in the end. There's power in allowing yourself to be known and heard, in owning your unique story, in using your authentic voice. And there's grace in being willing to know and hear others.
Thanks for sharing that great quote. And in your own words, how do you define self-confidence?
For me, self-confidence is knowing myself and knowing what will make me happy and what defines success for me. So if I'm able to silence the negative voices in my head and stop looking externally for validation and listen to my own heart, that would be fantastic self-confidence.
Thanks for sharing that great definition. And Kaumudi, what was your life like before your discovery of self-confidence?
So I was born and raised in India, Sheena. So good Indian girls are dainty and demure. Good Indian girls choose careers in science. So there's all these definitions that I grew up with. And I struggled so hard for so long to conform to those definitions and external ideas. I didn't have a sense of identity, certainly not self-worth. What that meant was frequently I made choices that were lesser because I felt that's what I deserved. I also did not have any power in my own voice because I didn't feel I had it. And so I think perhaps I was less present in my own journey.
Thanks for sharing that. And I think that's something that most Asian women go through, right? Having your life set out for you, being defined what you are, even though that's not who you truly are. And sometimes we struggle with that because we don't know if we should follow what other people tell us or go in our own journey. And what was that point in your life when you realized you can go out there and, have your own voice, be the person that you are today? What was that aha moment?
For me, I think the transition was particularly startling. I'd always cared about empowering women, but I'd also always done that secretly outside of my day job, outside of my professional pursuits. I did it in my own free time, and I always had a sense of embarrassment about it, as if to be an advocate for women was less powerful than being a professional in the corporate world. After I moved to Singapore and came back to Asia as an adult and seeing Asia again, I just realized this is important. We need to speak up for ourselves. I came across so many powerful Asian women with phenomenal stories who just felt they were not that phenomenal and no one wanted to listen to their stories. So, in working with Keynote, I realized the absolute importance for all of us to speak up and tell our own stories. And that was my aha moment. I just wanted to share one more thing that I realized. One of the things that I think a lot of Asian, perhaps I'll speak for myself instead of generalizing, as an Asian kid, I always felt this extreme drive of proving success, showing results. I was very driven towards, showing that I could succeed. And in somehow along the way, I became very unkind towards myself. And my second aha moment then would be that it's only when you're kind and forgiving towards yourself that you're truly able to extend that kindness towards others. I always thought of myself as kind towards others, but if I'm not kind to myself, then I can't truly, really be that forgiving, kind to others as well. And that was not the thing I discovered.
Thanks for sharing that. And, that's great that you're able to, create this platform and help other women realize, their potential, their worth. And, especially in Asia, so many women out there feel like they're never enough or they second guess their worth, right? And not knowing that we are more than enough to go out there and live our dream life or create a positive impact in the world. And, because of your realizations, what's your life been like now?
I'm a lot more present in more powerful ways. I feel energized. I not only do my professional work during the day, I also am passionate about Keynote, which is something I volunteer for. I'm confidently speaking about issues I've always cared about, but muted because I somehow felt that advocating for women was not that important. And in doing that, in sharing my story and my struggles, I was absolutely taken aback by how many people came up to me and shared their stories. And it was not just gender, it was all across the board, senior executives, junior executives, people like listening to stories about vulnerability and struggle because it gives them hope and inspiration. And so I think if there was one thing that I felt I got from realizing self-confidence was that it energizes people and inspires them and shows them possibilities that perhaps they had not considered before.
Thanks for sharing that. And, to the woman who's listening to your episode, she may be in her own journey to self-confidence. What would be that one tip you would give to her?
I'd say self-reflection and acceptance. Own your story. There is no shame in where you come from. We all have our own journeys. So accept yourself first, because then everyone else will accept you as well. And reflect on what truly makes you happy and what is success for you, rather than chasing goals that are set externally. We have so many stereotypes imposed on us. Rather than follow that, chase your own goals that you've defined for yourself. The second one is hard work. Everything else can be taken away from you, but your work ethic and your ability to work consistently and stay focused cannot be taken away. And that's a very powerful asset to have. And the third one is to be kind towards yourself. That is, acknowledge your own success, forgive your own weakness, because then you're going to be able to turn that positive, supportive energy towards other people as well.
Thanks for sharing those great tips. And if our listeners wanted to get to know a little bit more about you and what you do and check out some of your work, is there any links or social media profiles we can connect with?
Absolutely. Women keynote speakers. We have a website. It's called womenkeynote.com. It's a wonderful way to share your story. Know that you have the power within you to inspire so many others. So please do contact us if you'd like to be a speaker or if you'd like to learn how to go on a stage and speak. I'm on LinkedIn as well. My name is Kaumudi Goda, and I'm happy to answer any questions or share my story with anyone who wants to hear it.
Thanks for sharing that. And to our listeners, if you want to connect with Kaumudi, you can also head on over to the12selfconfidence.com and search for Kaumudi's name. Her show notes will pop up along with everything else that we talked about. And I really just want to thank Kaumudi today for taking the time to share her story and tips with us on self-confidence. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Sheena. I love doing this with you.
Not a problem. It was really great having you on the show. And to our listeners, be on the lookout for another new episode of another amazing woman's journey to self-confidence, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye for now. Thank you for tuning in to another amazing episode of The Tao of Self-Confidence. Visit our website at thetaoofselfconfidence.com to check out cool resources, blog articles, show recaps, and so much more. Your inner journey to self-confidence awaits.